Welcome to Tea Leaves Tea, where hopefully all eyes are on me. R.I.P. Pac. I know Pac's name was in the discussion of some of the great hip hop artists because we just celebrated 50 years of hip hop. So I know his name is definitely ringing bells in the culture. Um, I was thinking back as like when I was a kid, like my earliest recollections of hip hop, and I would have to go back to. I remember this must have been as a toddler. I probably wasn't even born when they came out with Sugar Hill to the Hill. I wasn't born during that time, but as I got a little older, I can remember artists like the Beastie Boys. Um, I actually had tried to get to go in a contest. I think I was like 8 years old. Two of my friends, if you're watching, I wonder if you remember this. But we got the cassette tape where you can put it in a quarter. You can rewind it, stop it. You know what I'm saying? And go back, write down the word. We didn't have the luxury of YouTube where the lyrics was already there on the screen. So we had to improvise. We would rewind it and write it down. Right? So the goal was you had to have the three people in the group and you guys had to memorize the song and you had to tape yourself. And my part was, I believe, I had a little horsey named Paul Revere. Me and my so right along. Then it was probably the Fat Boys because this movie Disorderlies came out. So that's how I was introduced to the Fat Boys and beatboxing. So when we think about beatboxing, that brings me over to Dougie Fresh. Uh, Hip hop was like a time of dancing. I love to dance even today. I love to dance. That's a form of mental release as well a form of exercise for me. So y'all might see me dancing on some of these videos. So with that being said, you had artists like Heavy D. And Heavy D came out with them dances. I believe one of his dancers passed away. But he had them dances, and you would be like you want to go to the party, you want to go to the dances because you could actually come up with your dance moves and whoop, whoop, whoop. So in the South, we had ESG, swinging and banging. We had Pimp C, Bon B. By the way, congratulations on your Trill Burgers. You have your brick and mortar down in Houston, and the burgers are delicious. And they are cost efficient, guys. I keep hearing these stories that the burgers cost too much. Let me not get too far away from the topic. But we like Pimp C, Bon B. Okay. Oh, A Ball and MJG. Lay it down, lay it down. That was my group back in the day. The Fifth Ward Boys. The Fifth Ward Boys actually made it big. When I was like 11, I moved to Virginia. And I remember watching, I don't know if it was Yo MTV Raps or it was something on BET Rap City. I was watching something and I could hear Halloween this year fell on the weekend. Me and get up was a trick or treat and nah. This microphone makes me want to rap, y'all. And I'm not a rapper, but it just gives me I can be a rapper because it sounds so cool. But the Ghetto Boys, when they showed on the video on the East Coast, I was like, that's Fifth Ward. My biological dad, rest in peace, Woody, was from Fifth Ward. So I was all excited telling people about it. You know, when I got to Virginia, it was like, do you got cows in your backyard or horses? And I would be like, no, knowing dang on well my grandma had pigs and stuff. So the Fifth Ward Boys was a staple of Houston. Moving right along. So while I was on the East Coast, I was jamming people like A Tribe Called Quest. Check the rhyme, y'all. Oh, here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Yes, I don't own any rights to any of this music. I'm just giving shouts out to some of my artists, favorite hip hop artists over these years. I'm not 50, but I can give you some years worth. And I used to jam Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. Let's see. Wu-Tang Clan was my jump. I like to listen to Wu-Tang Clan. And so that covers all of them. And Wu-Tang, Method Man, DMX. DMX was rest in peace, DMX. Um, his music impacted hip hop. We have, oh, I used to like Fat Joe, Big Pun, rest in peace. Now for the modern days, I know I'm missing some people. MC Light, oh, MC Light was I need a roughneck, gotta get a roughneck. I used to like MC Light, and that joke she had about Georgia Porgy, kiss the girl. Yeah, that was my jam too. But I know I'm missing people. Um, I jam some Snoop. I know I'm missing people, but I want to get to the modern day, the what's going on in modern day hip hop. In modern day hip hop, I hear a lot of I'm gonna pull up on you with this stick. I'm gonna slide you. I'm gonna slump you over. The hearse is gonna come get you. Your mama gonna be crying. I got a murder on my mind. I'm gonna sleep without my partner's slides. Meet up with my sneaky link. I'm gonna swallow me up playing ABC. I'm gonna kill this baby. I'm gonna do this. What's going on, young people? I'm not the judge over the music, but we do have an epidemic going on. The beats is good. You know, you can go to one of your kids' championship games and they coming out to, you scared to come outside? You know, stepping, rest in peace, on 3. No, if you listen to those words have no place coming out those babies' mouths. And it's just what it is. I mean, we know the type of things that we're seeing on these videos and stuff, but you wouldn't want your kid, even the people that are singing the songs, you wouldn't want your kids to be doing those things that they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? And yes, the parents are supposed to watch what their kids watching, but these kids got these phones, and these kids are very savvy. But the idea is, like, when I listen, it's like you're listening to the beat. So once you hear the beat ought to draw you in. So once you're in, you're listening to some of the words. So if you start reciting the words, you got to be careful because words hold weight. And the power of your tongue is sharper than the two-edged sword. So those words and those, whether you're chanting out into the world and the universe, are significant. And during this time, it's just absurd how many of our young men are gunning each other down. You know what I'm saying? Even how we're treating our significant others in relationships, just taking their life. You know, it's like, I'm not over the music, but I know who was over the music. And in heaven, it was one of the most beautiful angels. Satan was over the music. He had the diamonds and the breastplate and all the other stuff. But when him and a third of the angels were cast down, he was cast down here. And he only got a little bit of time. So you think that music ain't a tool? I actually heard an artist saying, you over here with me, you going to hell with me. I was like, oh, I can't listen to him anymore. So it's like this. I feel like this. Sipping on milk. This, by the way. In hip hop, you know, in the back in the day, it was, you know, you had some people talking, you know, some stuff, but the majority of the stuff they were talking was awareness. You understand? They understood the assignment. And the ones that understood the assignment, somewhere they got lost in the sauce because the persons that was giving out the money, they wanted to hear the other stuff that was gonna make us cut up, always be the butt of the jokes. and get rid of ourselves. All these experiments, like the Tuskegee experiments that they plan to give people syphilis and all the other stuff, and all the sprays and all the stuff to get rid of people, and we can voluntarily do it. No, when you was watching they clone Tyrone. You know what I'm talking about, and I'm glad to see Jamie Foxx back. But when they made that movie, it gives you the subliminals. You see how those people was acting in that club when their music changed? The frequencies, extension, rest in peace. Watch some of his live documentaries. He's explaining those frequencies. If you listen to Ye, he's explaining those frequencies. You have other countries that control their people by frequencies, and they're so minute you can't even hear them naturally by the ear, and they're controlling. Got us out here acting like pure D fools. I remember this club we used to go to when I was a young adult in the neighborhood, and he would allow some rap music, but if that song tear the club up, he know that club was about to get towed up. Wide up if you book. He know everybody was gonna get wide up and get booked. So it would come a point in time during the day, we knew we were about to hit another there because somebody was going to be fighting. And the difference from those days and these days, nobody's fighting. People were actually pulling out a stick or a blick and lighting people up. And they'll light up a whole crowd of people. They'll light you up on the highway. It's all this emotion and all this stuff. But I'll never give up on hip hop. But the rules of hip hop and what the target audience and the things that we're saying, you know, we got a whole world. I mean, the majority of the people listen to the music is not, a lot of people that paying for our music is not even in our culture. And it's like they're getting a whole real, not a fictional story. They're getting a whole Hollywood movie that's going along with the song. Because you'll have an artist that'll come out with a song and he talking about he gonna slide somebody. Or he done cause some beef with another rapper, so they got the diss things. Now they going dissing with these, talking about these guns. So you're dissing so hard and dang, what you know? One of your favorite artists is on social media, done lost their lives. And it's a shame because they're not only artists. Before they ever were artists, they were somebody's son, they were somebody's daughters, they were somebody's nieces, nephews, sisters, brothers, aunties, parents, friends. And the other people just continue to listen to it and pour into it, and the culture is left with holes and damage and cracks. If you a lyricist, you're a lyricist. If they say if you can sell ice cream to an Eskimo, then you a salesman. If you're a lyricist, you're a lyricist. You can talk about anything supposed to be good. Put a beat behind it. Put a beat behind some true bars. Put a beat about telling us some stories, some stuff that's good. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way you got to reprogram your mind. You can't run around here with negative thoughts in your mind all the time and expect to have a good, great life. You're going to be stressed out, having ailments and all other kind of things because you're holding all these negative things. And I don't never get to do this. I ain't never been like this. I ain't never got blessed. And you're not going to be if you continue to think that way. If you want something to change, you got to change. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you move. You got to change the way you act. Period. We still gonna listen to y'all. J. Cole, he made that song for Summer Walker. That joker sound like a banger. And not only that, the one he made with Lil Durk, I like that song. So, our next 10 years of hip hop, I hope we were able to recognize change. There is a gospel rapper. His name is D1. I enjoy his music. I was listening to it this weekend. But moving right along, it was going down at the riverfront in Alabama. I know y'all done seen all these memes and everybody, people got chains. They got little, got the chair, the folding chair is the, ooh, we man. People riding with chairs on top of their car. People done painted their chairs pink. They got some blinged up folding chairs, all of that. And I'm still in the swivel chair. But there was a message that was given and displayed on that hot, sunny Alabama day down at the riverfront. First of all, the riverfront is a historical site for the people, the Alabamians that live there. It was actually said to be the exact spot where slaves were brought in to dock. Now, I'll get into that in another podcast about it. They believe the slaves had, that's what the people know, that place to represent, that slaves were actually docked there. And you had a security guard that was telling a group of Caucasian people that they needed to move their boat. So when he asked them to move their boat, they ignored him. You can see the sense of entitlement, or you're not important, or whatever. So the security guard proceeded to pull the boat back, and when he did, they came charging up to him, like looked like they was telling my man, "Why you move my boat?" And I told you, this boat needs to park, and the boat that needed to park, I wonder was it the one when the people was on them 3 tiers, because that boat looked like a whole Civil War boat with the little tassel things. That looked like they took me way back to the movies where we couldn't even star in. Anywho. So during that, the thing that caught my attention to the most was when the 16-year-old swam across there, got in the mix, and was like, no. They jumped him. And it was like I'm glad people didn't just videotape this time. I'm glad people were actually involved. Because a lot of people, I've seen some lives that could have potentially been saved if people wasn't videotaping, but they was actually pulling the person off the person. So when he sprang into action, I'm going to tell you at that point what went into my spirit. People say I think deep. Yeah, it's implanted deep. You're not just your mother and father, but you're also your ancestors. Some people receive downloads, and some people get messages that other people don't. But what was said in my spirit when I saw that boy fly across there swimming like that was, this generation is more boisterous. This generation speaks its mind more. This generation, I think, they have suffered a lot, especially in the inner cities and inner communities. They've suffered a lot. They've seen a lot, Drugs has plagued their neighborhood, and those drugs were shipped into those areas. Those liquor stores were strategically placed in those areas, not to mention the Planned Parenthood. There has been a war against us since the people came over here to take this from us. So this generation, they diagnose a lot of these kids with ADHD because they speak in their mind and they can't be controlled on that level. And they've come to the realization quicker than older people that you hit me, I'm going to hit you back. You do something to mine, I'm going to do something to yours. Because I'm going to defend myself, and we're not going to keep doing all of this and all of this. This is crazy. And anybody that wants to be a racist up to this point, up to you hear this, please like, share, and subscribe. And please share it with somebody that you know. The ones got them fake pages and stuff. Go on, share this with a racist that you know. In this day and age, you are the fool. Pity the fool to be a racist. We have so many interracial couples, babies, and families. You know what I'm saying? A lot of mixing of the races. How dare you even go against your blood at this point? And didn't you know, or don't you know, I think racist people are actually ignorant. And you find out what the definition of ignorant is. I believe the racist people are actually ignorant. And when I say ignorant, it is how far along can us as a world or people get get in life or live in life if we would just love one another. How far could we get? We didn't did it this all way all these years, hundreds of thousands of years, and you see where it's gotten us. Everybody's still fussing, everybody's still complaining, ain't nobody happy. So I propose, so I propose unity. If you only have a certain amount that's controlling everything, why are the rest still divided? Why are we still divided down here? We don't want to stay at the bottom of the totem pole. Why are we still divided down here? If those banks fail and crash like they're predicted to do and do all this and talk about the market, all that stuff going on, we still should be able to trade and barter between each other. We still should be able to survive. But everybody you still want to be racist. And those political puppets that are in office and stuff like that, once you turn 65, y'all need to go get y'all severance pay, get y'all big old bonus checks, because they more than anybody else checks that's trying to survive. Go get them big old bonus checks and go sit down on the sideline. Because all that out of date, you're going to keep somebody suppressed in one way. If we're not going to do it this way, we're going to do it that way. If it's not the health care, it's going to be the loans. And if it's not the loans, it's going to be mass incarceration. Y'all crazy. Go sit down like y'all make us sit down, or want us to sit down when we turn 65. Because all that racist stuff, that needs to be eliminated in those houses and those senates and those Supreme Courts. I thought y'all were supposed to be working for us.